Third time's the charm.
Here we go.
Did you get the niggin? This is gonna be one of those shiurim.
Do it again. Let's go.
You better behave. Yeah, thank you. All right, Rabbi Isai. Woo! Welcome to all the guests. A lot of guests. I'm not going to read. Oh, Perry Dubinsky. Dear Belly, I had the schos of donating my kidneys last May, and recently I had my 6-month follow-up at the Memorial Kidney Transplant Unit here in South Florida. The exact comment my doctors all told me was that my blood work was identical to what it was the day before surgery. Baruch Hashem, proving exactly what Rebelli said in Shir. Hashem gives us 2 kidneys, one to use and one to donate, and that of course goes to everybody else besides myself. In all honesty, the recovery does take effort, and I'm still not fully back to myself. Wow. 6 months later. But none of that compares to the feeling that Kosh Baruch Hu felt was worthy enough to help another yid. In my case, Yosef Yitzchak ben Rachel Alevi, as everyone in Miami Beach knows, he's a tzaddik and amen. Baruch Hashem, we were compatible, and his blood also matches mine. Though I'm told he wasn't yet developed my witty and keen sense of humor.
That's pretty funny.
I did tell him before the surgery that you must go. I think it's funny. Come to my Siyam Shassim Systems Press. I'll be able to introduce you. All the best, Perry. Yosef Siafi. Hi, Rebelli. I'm an American Sephardi Avrech who enjoys watching your Hebrew and English shir. Oh, I love Avrechim. You mentioned the halacha from the Mishnah Brura that if one mistakenly didn't shake all Arba'im together, he may shake one he missed with the bracha. Just wanted to point out that according to the Sephardim, which you have many followers of, we don't recite a new bracha on that. On that min. Last night I said it already? Oh, but I didn't say his name. I didn't know. Yeah. And this is interesting. I don't know where this is. Maybe it's in Miami also. Who knows? This is the owner of a restaurant, supposedly.
Restaurant over here was inspired by MDY.
Was inspired by MDY. The ceiling.
Smoking.
I have no idea. Is Rich Marinelli in the house?
Yeah.
Is Rich here? Noch nicht. Okay, so I'll read his email a different day. The official edition of MDY Shas, the Daf, anonymous, Leonishmas, Morenu, Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Shmuel ben Rav Avigdor HaKohen, Zechat Tzaddik Levracha. Who's that?
Sounds like
It's not Rav Shmuel Berman.
not Rabbi Victor Miller's son? Shmuel Miller.
Ah, that's who it is. Shmuel Miller. Dalet Sivan Tovshin Pei. The Freemans, L'Zech Nishmas, our father and grandfather, Tzvi Doi ben Elio on his yard side. Yudim Beryl Freeman, happy birthday to our dear brother Shia, F-162. Ad Mea Ve'esrim, Kol Mishoyim Tzochet Tzibur, Kosh Baruch Yishalom Scharim. David Bediel, for Shleima Eliezer Shmuel ben Vita. Yaakov Yosef Kritzler, Yitzchak ben Avram, will learn Daf Yomi until the last day of his life, and Zchus L'Simchas ben Mishpacha. Mark Ashkenazi, Mazel Tov to my newfound second cousin, Reb Sruli Ashkenazi of MDY Zurich. On the chassan of his daughter, I saw the back and forth. His cousin realized that they're cousins because they spelled their name the same way, and the kids they have the same Greek grandparents. Tzvi Korlin, Lili Nishmas, my grandfather, Leiba ben Herzl on a 60-yard side, Alan Skorsky, Nishmas Harav Tzvi Ariel ben Avram. Official edition MDY Shas Masechta by the Iranian Levi family's Perek Anonymous, Lili Nishmas Zachariah ben Moshe. Masechta sponsor David Salomon. Dedicated memory of Avi Marib Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi Zechron Levracha. Masechta sponsors Joel Gedalis, Lili Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalis. Anonymous. Haslacha Baruch Nis Uvagashmis, the Palchik Family Foundation, the Zech Nishmas Harav Agoy Reb Shlomo Palchik, the Metchetzer Eloi. Anonymous, Refuah Shlema LaMoshe ben Izaha. Anonymous, for a complete Refuah Shlema and Arichas Yom to Leah Bas Esther, Yisrael and Malki. Toyli Torah Spicho Malfi Zav Chesed. We're so proud of you, Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Send the Gross and family. Can be Ireland, UK, in honor of Rebelli, who changed my meaning of life. Plenty Almighty. Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Oiskim B'Tzorchi MDY, Kosh Baruch Yishalom Scharim. Monthly sponsors: Ari Simon, Refuah Shlema, Avi Mori, Baruch Ben Miriam, Jamie Azulai, Refuah Shlema, Esther Bas Luna. Moshe Aaron and Miriam Landy, Hoydel Hashem Kitoiv, Kilo Elam Chazdoi. Monthly sponsors anonymous, this Chus of Berg that's good and open and revealed way for Yosef Mordechai ben Bat Yilei Omeid. You know this in Yehuda Lewis as this Chus for everyone in need of a Shidduch Amen. Anonymous, for the merit of Michal ben Yisrael Yosef, success and blessing in all areas of life. By Sprinzi and Alan Gross, Nishmas Shlomo Zalman ben Yitzchak Isaac, ben Yoman Isaac ben Tzvi Hirsch Shakoyin, for Shlomo Yonatan Eitam Ebeshev Bracha. Anonymous, for the merit of Refuah Shlema from Malka Baschayo. Centers.com, helping Yidden Davin B'Tzibur with pop-up minyanim anywhere worldwide. L'Nishmas Chaim Shalom Ben Betzalel. And the way art, for the month. For Shleima Yonatan Eitan ben Beshev Bracha Mein. For Shleima Mordechai ben Esther. The Refuas Hayeled Daniel Zev ben Ayel Esther. Real quickly, Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
It's Willie Friedman.
I know you. We met 10 times already.
Yeah, a bunch of times.
First Shabbaton.
I was there.
Shalom Aleichem, what's yours?
I was in Kiryas Yoel.
Oh, you're in Kiryas Yoel.
Yeah, Kiryas Yoel.
On the Chabad part or on the Satmar part?
There was no parts.
We should have done a Chabadnik today.
That's it. That's all. Then doesn't know the second part. So what's your name? We gotta learn some Torah, my friend. What's your name?
Shalom Bauer,
From?
Brooklyn, New York.
Shalom Aleichem from Brooklyn, New York. Weiter? What are you saying, weiter? Saying weiter. Too bad. What are you doing on that side? Harry. There are a lot of kids here, Taka. It's good. Schmuck. They know the sugi better than adults. Who else? Who else wants to say Shalom Aleichem? Anybody? You're all... I know. What? Oh, these guys next to you. No? Shalom Aleichem, what's your names? Yeah, yours. Well, yours. What's your... From? You're David's father? Yeah. What a schus. He's a Talmud Chacham. He's a hidden Talmud Chacham. You know that, right? And who's that guy next to him? His son? Yeah, you, that young guy.
I'm Steve Stein.
From? Wow. Listen, show up in Yavamas. You'll explain us some sugas. You just... Hello? I don't know if I can continue. You just caused me a little trauma. That's all. Says the Gemara that Chof Ches Omer Aleph. Omer Mar. V'sheb Ifnim, V'sheb Metzoira. We're talking about the Hazois. Inside the Heichal, we know on Yom Kippur, we sprinkle the blood in different places. And the Metzoira, we take the oil of the Metzoira and we sprinkle it towards the Paroichas. Shaloi Lishma and Psulais. If you don't have the right intent, you think about something else. You think it's for another carbon, whatever it is. That's like the first Mishnah in Menachos, the first Mishnah in Zvachim talks about Shaloi Lishma. Pasul, Psulais. Shaloi Mechuvanais. And if you're not sprinkling in the right direction, Sheiros. But we learned in a Braisa, Ben Shaloi Lishma and Ben Shaloi Mechuvanais Sheiros, even if you don't have the right intent, Lishma, it's still kosher. Why are you telling me it's Pasul? Omer Rabbi Yosef Lekashu, Hor Eliezer Barabanon. It's two different Tanoi. Rabbi Eliezer, the Makish Osham Lechatos. If you remember, the first Mishnah in Zvachim tells us that there are two korbanos that if you don't have the Lishma, you're not Yoitza. Chatos and... So we learn, and Rebbe Eliezer on the spot, in the Mishnah says, well, Asham also. And he has a limud, Asham also. So if you learn from Chatos to Asham that you need Lishma, then you can go one step further and say from Asham to the Loik Shem, and also you need Lishma. Rebbe Eliezer the Makish Asham lechatas, Makish Nami Loig Asham. So we have a limud, we go all the way back to Chatas. Rabbanon le Makshi. Rabbanon don't have the Hekesh. Ask the Gemara, but wait a minute. We have a rule in Kachim that you can only go one step. You can only go from Chatas to Asham, but you can't continue from Asham to something else. That's Chayzim Lamed. You can't repeat a limud. The limud is once, from Chatas to Asham. You want to go from a Asham, if the limud started at the Asham, then you can go to the Luk Shemen. But you can't go from one to another. That you don't do in Kachim. Elam Rava, you're right. We're stuck. You can't do that. Havar Rabbanon. So it's not a Machlekes Rebbe Eliezer and Rabbanon. They're both Rabbanon. Kan lahachshir. As we even saw, it could be that the Luk Shemen is kosher to eat. Kan lahartzos. But in order to get you want to eat the leftovers? Fine. But to get the kapara, that you need the right kavana. If you don't have the right kavana, the owner must bring a second Luk Shemen. But boys, we're going to a beautiful sugya about the menorah.
Finish the matches.
Yeah, we're not clear. This is the whole Menachos has these parentheses. Fine. Shiva k'nei menorah, makin zezeh. There are 7 branches on the menorah, and if you're missing one, if you only have 6, not 7, no good. You can't use the menorah. Shiva Neriseo Magin Zezeh, and on top of each branch, there's a wick with a fire. You need 7. If you only have 6, no good. Shtei Parshoyos Parshiyos Shebimezuzah Ma'akvoy Zuzu. The mezuzah has Shema Vayim Shemaya, which in the parasha it says about the mezuzah. If you only have one parasha, it's not good. Magvoy Zuzu. Not only that, Afilu Ksav Echad Ma'akvan. Even if one letter is missing, Ma'akiv. It's interesting. Just this week, basically, one of these days, there's my grandfather, Zechron Levracha, a big tzaddik and a sofer, and he wrote mezuzahs for the Stipler. They say also that he wrote for the Lubavitch Rebbe. I spoke to some people. He's a big tzaddik. He used to go to the mikveh, learn through the night, the whole thing. So he lived in Bnei Brak. My father remembers the Stipler coming to the house to pick up the mezuzahs, etc. So I don't have anything from him. I don't have a mezuzah or anything. He had a twin, and my grandfather gave his twin a Megillah. And I met somebody from the mishpacha at a levaya or something. He said, your grandfather gave my grandfather Megillah. Would you be interested in it? I said, of course. I don't know. I would like that. So he just contacted me, and he said that he's bringing it this week, and that's it. He's going to give me the Megillah, because they don't have that connection to it. It's their father got it from a brother. Okay, no, but he said okay, he's going to bring it. Be'ez Hashem. But anyway, the reason I'm saying this is, so he had a few dreams. My grandfather, I'm a Litvak, and I'm not into dreams. Seems like his sons weren't either so into the dreams. He comes to my uncle Reb Shalom, who was just nifter last year, and he tells him that he had a dream that this guy, his friend in Slobodka, his tefillin are puzzle. Something's wrong with his tefillin. That he should tell him that he should bring him the tefillin. So he says, Abba, I'm not gonna tell him that my father, the Sofer, had a dream that his tefillin's puzzle. It doesn't look so good. I'm not doing it. So he kept on bugging him. He says, no, did you go tell him? He says, no. So he walked to Slobodka. He goes into the basement. He calls the guy out. He says, listen, if I need to check your tefillin. If they're puzzle, then I'll charge you. If they're not, let me just check it. So he checked it, and it had the same word twice. Okay, that's one.
His son learned a lesson from this.
Huh?
Hope his son learned something from this.
Yeah. There's another, I don't know, but there's another ma'isa that this guy was gaining a lot of weight.
Which guy?
A guy, and when they opened up his mezuzah, it said v'achalta twice. What? No, this one is real. This one is real. A guy had a drinking problem. He's a big alcoholic. So he went to the cipher. They checked his mezuzah. They saw that it says, instead of Leman Tizkiru, it says Leman Tishkiru. It became this. The only problem is that pasuk is not in the mezuzah. That's the third pasuk. Okay, weiter. Okay, now we go weiter. Shtei parshiyos shebimezuzah ma'akvei zu. Afilu ksav echad ma'akvei, missing one letter is no good. Arba parshiyos shebatfilin ma'akvei zu. Shema v'hoyim shemoya kadosh v'yacha. All parshiyos that have the musig of tefillin in them, missing one parsha, no good. Right? To the end of this parak are things that are ma'akiv one another. We started yesterday, ma'amish got the kind of style now, and then we get to atchelas where things are not ma'akiv. These are ma'akiv. The 4 parshiyos are a must. It says v'hayu, so v'hayu is a chiyuv. It's v'haviyasa. It has to be. It's like a chukah. Afilu ksav echad ma'akvav. Even one letter is ma'akiv. Rabbi say, how many letters are in a Sefer Torah? Shishim, Riboy, but they counted. We have to explain that it's 300,805, something like that. 4,805. 300,000, 304, 805. 805. But every ice represents somebody in Klal Yisrael. And if you're Shishim Riboy Ice, and if you're missing one ice, you're missing one yid, puzzle. The Sefer Torah is gone. Arba tzitzios magvizuzu, the 4 tzitzis. You can't walk around with 3. Sharbatim mitzvah achas, if they consider 1 mitzvah. You're not mekayim a special mitzvah with each one. If you have 4, then you mekayim 1 mitzvah. Rabbi Shmuel Omer arbatam arba mitzvahs. Each one is individual, and we're going to see in the Gemara what it means that if you have a beged with 5 kanfos, according to Rabbi Shmuel, each one is a mitzvah. My time, why is a menorah? Why are they ma'akiv? Why is each kana of the menorah ma'akiv? Havaya ksibu. Says Lashon Havaya, it's a must. Like we had yesterday, a bunch of Havayas, Chuka, Havaya, the same idea. If the Torah uses that word, it means you must do it as so. You can't make a menorah with 6 branches. Torah Rabbana. Menorah Hisabah, Mino Eshes. The menorah came from 1 solid piece. Umin Azav was a solid piece of gold. Does anybody want to take a guess how much the menorah weighed? How much did the menorah weigh? The total, the final weight. A guess. Not if you heard the shir, Dave, yesterday. I see you're about to answer. 500 kilo. Close, but you're missing a 0. No, it's 57 kilo. 57 kilo in today's money value, after the gold dropped 25%, it's $9 million worth of gold. 57 kilo. All made, very interesting, made from 1 piece. You can't take 2 different pieces, make 1 branch and another branch and connect it. It must be 1 piece. A Rebbe in Cheder, we have 2 Rebbeim in Cheder that come to the Hebrew Shir every night. They know a lot of stuff, a lot more than a lot of people. They know like the kutshim and the tire. So he said that this video I'm about to show you is like something he wants to show his kids because he never like envisioned it. Umin Azav is made from gold. Asa min agrutois. If you made it from broken pieces, psula. It is possible, mishar minim atachis ksheira. As we're going to see, this halacha that has to be made from 1 piece, from miksha achas, is only when you make it out of gold. If you make it out of silver, which if Klal Yisrael doesn't have the money, you can make it out of silver. We'll see. Then it doesn't have that halacha. Here it is, miksha. And notice he put his own name on this is Yossi Shachar. This is our Friday Shabbos video guy.
Just a moment, let me sign this.
It's just funny what he got in the mail in Amazon. So it's no good. Now we're going to see it wasn't that tall. That's the way of kikar. Oh, it does right. Okay, kikar is 57 kilo, they say. Okay. That's the Gemara. Why do you say if it's made from smaller pieces it's possible? The siv miksha v'avaya. You see, it says the word miksha 4 times. Here's the pasuk. V'asisa menorah zav tar, which may be made out of gold, pure gold. Miksha, 1 solid piece. Teyasa. And at the end of the pasuk it says yiu. It must be done as so. As the Gemara, Sharmini Metafis Nami, Zav Avaya. How can you do it how can you make it out of silver, out of copper? It says Zav Tar, and what does it say at the end of the pasuk, same you. Oh my God, Tiyasa. No, but it does say the word Tiyasa in green. The Rabbi Sharmini Metafis to come to include other metals. Ve'ema, the Rabbi's brutois. Okay, it's coming to add something, but maybe it's coming to add, you must do it out of gold, because it says gold. It makes more sense. Say you have to stick to what the Torah says, gold. It says to add something, broken pieces that fell off. Look where it says the word miksha. It says the word miksha next to you, the closest to you. Miksha than you. As the Gemara Tiyasa Nami miksha ksiv. Tiyasa is actually closer. Look, the green is closer than the word miksha. Tiyasa. Says Gemara, so maybe you don't need to do miksha. Maybe miksha means one solid piece. Tiyasa, you just do it without being solid. You. Says Gemara, no. Miksha la'akev. It says miksha twice. Here it says in this pasuk, miksha achas. So we know shana la'ava kasav in kachim. If the Torah says it twice, la'akev. Frankly, Gemara zav nami la'akev. It says zav at least twice. It says it 4 or 5 times. So the Gemara what the Gemara is doing here is the Gemara is going to show that there's special halachas that we learn out of each word zav, and that only comes if grutois are no good and zav is good. These words zav come to include these things. But if grutois are good and zav is not, then how do you get to the limudim that we have? What are some of the limudim are? So what's special about gold? What's special about gold is, first of all, it has to be one piece. It also has to weigh a kikar, and other metals don't have to weigh a kikar. And also you have gvim v'kaftorim u'prachim, which we're going to see soon. You have these designs on the menorah that only apply to gold. All these things we have to learn, each one from another word zav.
If it's ma'akiv, why didn't the Mishnah say it was ma'akiv, like the other thing they said about the menorah?
Good child, I don't know. Look in your notes. You don't have notes. That's why I said that.
We're all talking about numbers here. It's numbers. It's not talking about that in the next. Everything is numbers. 1, 2, 7. Also, last mission was all numbers.
Yeah, but you know what? Gvim have numbers. There's 22 of this, 18 of that, 11 of this, 9, whatever it is. There's numbers. Kikar is a number, 1 kikar. Okay. Now we have the drush. But if you're going to tell me that broken pieces are kosher, and other metals are puzzle, then I don't have the limudim that I have. My dash is, what are you going to do with all these drushes? What are the drushes? My drush is the sanya. Kikar zav tar yasa isa eis kol hakelim. You have to use 57 kilo. I don't know what that is in pounds. What is that in pounds? 120 pounds? Close to 100?
20 pounds in a kilo.
So how much is that? No?
125.4.
125.
Multiply by 2 at 10%.
Right.
Multiply by 2 at 10%.
Right, that's 2.2.
Yeah, but how do
No, it's
50 multiplied by 2 I get, but how do you multiply 7 by 2? I'm just kidding. Yeah. Bug. Last night in Mill Share, one of the great guy in Share. So I said, what kind of designs do you have on the menorah? Says they said the Gvim. The item didn't get the third one. So one of the guys, he screams out, they're like, oh, Givaldik. And then Dave zooms in and he had the same page that Mendy's open to. That he's actually like looking at the page, he's reading off the page, Yishkoyach, big Talmud Chacham. But he zoomed in like one of these guy turned color. So no, I'm just saying, I'm hinting to Avremi, zoom into his calculator as he's like, Bazav, Bagvim, Kaftarim, Brachim. Oh, sorry, let's read it slowly.
My Josh.
Bazav, if it comes with Zav where it says Zayin, Bazav, Bakikar. If you're going to make it out of gold, then you must have a kikar. In a Bazav, you're going to use other metals. Eina ba kikar. You don't need to be makfid on the weight. Gviel, Kafturel, Uprochel. Oh, Gviel, here, I brought from home today. On the menorah, it's actually pretty close to this size. About a tefach, it seems like, each one. They had Gviim. At one point, they had 3 of them together like this. Show you a picture. What's beautiful is Matzah Shabbos, because we're only that day's daf. So Matzah Shabbos, I call up Yoshi. I'm like, do you have anything from menorah? He says, no. I said, okay, we're going to get. So he calls up our third artist, and he's like, let's get working. He asked me to send him some pictures. I sent him this. This is the Irish roll on the left, which I have just to use. And then he started building this, and I gave him Aris. I said, no, this is a kaftar, and it has to go on the top. This is just my back and forth with him. Matzah Shabbos, an hour before Shir. So let me show you what they came up with. Beautiful stuff. This is it's going to get. I'll show you some detailed stuff. The Gevim you can see on the bottom, but here, let me just. Even if we go to this one, actually, let's go to this. This is from the Art Scroll also. This just shows you the centerpiece. Now, if you look on the bottom, this is what we call a perach. Okay, I'm not sure that we know exactly what it looks like, but it could be it looks something like this because the Gemara says later on it's the way they designed it in the columns. And if you look at the old Roman columns, they had something, similar things like to these flowers. Okay, this right over here, these guys are called kaftarim. They're circles. They're like balls. The Rambam says it's a little bit like it's shaped as an egg. Others say they're literally round. What?
Oval.
Oh, not oval, but egg shape. What? I don't know what the egg shape. What's the egg shape? That's a wider. What is it? Ovoid. Okay. Here you can see three. What do you see over here? Three gevim inside each other, literally like this. Then on top of that you have a kaftar, and then a perach. That's one shita. Another shita is this, that the top, let me just go out, it was something like this, that the kaftar, ferach, and the gevia were all in one line. You see all three of them on top. And then it's more like this. There's the famous picture that the Rambam depicted, and he has the branches of the menorah straight, and then he says that he wasn't so makbid on certain things, he was just trying to bring out certain points, so not to learn from it 100%. There's a lot of... This is the menorah that the Mechana Mikdash made. Supposedly it's gold or maybe gold coated. It's very expensive. And over here you can see, this is the base. The base has 3 legs, as we're going to see. It only has 3 legs. I don't see the perach on the bottom. Interesting. Maybe over here you see like a gevi and a perach. Over here you see the kaftarim, and out of the kaftar comes the 2 branches, another kaftar, and then he has over here 3 gevim. On top of the gevi, a kaftar and a perach. Then goes the place where they light it. That's not included in the height. We're not really discussing that today. We're going to get to the sugya. Are you allowed to make a menorah? The answer is, the Gemara says you're not allowed to make a menorah that has seven things. So why do they do it? So they claim that they're doing it when the Beis Hamikdash comes and we need a menorah. It's for the Beis Hamikdash. It's not for personal use. Some say maybe to Islam made it's okay. One question that I have to ask them, I'll just throw it out here, is if the Beis Hamikdash is coming down complete, isn't it coming down with the menorah and all the kalim? Like they forgot the menorah. They everything's in there. The mizbeach, the this, that, but the menorah not.
That's only one shita that it's coming down. It's not the kol adiyas that it's coming down.
So they're going according to that sheet. Okay.
You keep your ketoris in that menorah.
You don't put the
Your ketoris.
My
Keep it in
yeah.
menorah.
It's actually, I'm sure it's very safe, that thing. There's a lot of security on
Right
it.
there. It's a perfect spot.
All right. Anyway, Viel, Kafturel, Prochel, Bazov, if another halacha, Rabbi say, these Gevim, Kaftorim, Prochim, only if it's made out of gold. Bagvim, Kaftorim, Prochim, Bazov, Bagvim, Kaftorim, Prochim. Ain't a Bazov, it's made, let's say, out of silver. Ain't a Bagvim, Kaftorim, Prochim. You don't do the Gevim, Kaftorim, Prochim. Ask the Gemara, V'emanami Bazov, Bakanim. Maybe the idea of branches, which is in the same pasuk, it says, Gvim, Kaftar, Kanim. Maybe it shouldn't have branches. If it's not made out of gold, it shouldn't have branches. It should look something like this. I don't know, without branches. Ain't about Zav, ain't about Kanim. Says Gemara, that's not called a menorah. Ahu Pamoit Mikri. Anybody that lives in Israel knows what a Pamot is? Pamutim. It's a candlestick. It's a single. It's not a menorah. V'zeh ma'aseh menorah miksha Zav. Ba-zav, ba-miksha. These are all limudim that we need. And that's why it makes sense to exclude grutais and to include zav, because now we're using all these to teach us. You need a kikar, you need gevia and prochim, and you need miksha. It needs to be made out of one solid piece. Imagine, I'm just thinking to myself, you're making this menorah out of one solid piece, and you get like to the right furthest branch, and you mess up. It's like one tefach lower than the rest. Now, you have to start all over again. You can't fix it. It's one piece. Ain't a zav, ain't a miksha. If you're doing it out of out of silver. You don't have to make it miksha. Like we'll see in the video. I think in the video you might have messed up a little bit. We'll see. Miksha the seif l'mayasa. Now there's more mikshas going on here. So let's take, for instance, this miksha. Miksha he. What does it come to say? L'ma'utei chatzoytros. There were trumpets in the Beis Hamikdash that Moshe Rabbeinu made. It's to call Klal Yisrael together. There's no l'mutei chatzoytros. That what? The sanya chatzoytros hayu mina eshes mina kesef. It's the exact opposite of a menorah. The chatzoytros do have to come from one piece, a eshes, one piece. Mina kesef is silver. Asav and agruta is ksherim. But if you make them out of broken pieces, it's kosher. The exact opposite of a menorah, where you cannot make it out of pieces. And also another thing that's the opposite is nishar mina matachas psulim. Any other metal is possible. It needs to be made out of silver. Whereas the menorah, you can make it out of other metals. Why is it so? That if you make it out of a copper or even gold, make it out of gold, why not? It says silver and it says va'avaya. Va'avaya means it's locked in as is. Minagrutois nami as the Gemara, but the broken piece is also miksha of va'avaya. It says b'chatzorish is the word miksha. It has to be as is, one piece. Why do you say you're allowed to make it out of broken pieces? It says the Gemara, I'll tell you why. This is the final. You're asking what this miksha he is. You see this miksha he. You're asking what does it come to? It comes to exclude the chatzoytros. That only menorah needs to be a miksha he, a solid piece, v'lo chatzoytros. And Mamela, we're back to what we said. We need all these drushes, and therefore we have to exclude grutois for a menorah. Torah Rabbana. Kol hakelim chav ches omid beis. Kol hakelim shasam Moshe ksherim loy uksherim l'doros. The kelim are kosher for Moshe Rabbeinu, his generation, uksherim l'doros, and for all generations. Chatzoytros ksheris loy upsulos l'doros. Chatzoytros are different than all kelim. You make it for this dar, and that's it. For his dar, and the next generation has to make it again. Turn to the Daf at our global, where your one-stop shop for all your financial needs. Isaac Castle, in honor of all them, the white divers in South Florida, we shall all be Zoicha, Matzliach, Baruch Nisu Begashmis, anonymous, in memory of Moshe and Paris for Siyard side, Chav Zayin, Shvat. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I have to mention this. I have a very good friend. His name is Henach Cohen, and he wrote a beautiful sefer on Menachos. I'm very proud of him. How many friends write Sfarim? He's a Balabas. And he's a Talmud Chacham. Balabas Talmud Chacham. He wrote, it's called Toras Chanoich, I believe. Toras Chanoich. So he wrote over here on Chatzoytros, Shtickle. Small piece. Why it is the Chatzoytros are different than everything else. He goes into the Chatzoytros as a Machas thing, and Machas is only, you have to burn the Begadim of a Melech, a whole thing. Ayin Sham, anybody want to see good Torah? Toras Chanoich. I'm plugging a sefer. Chatzoytros Ksheris Loy Psulos L'Doros. But listen to this. I have a beauty. This is a beauty from Chatzkel Abramsky. Why are Chatzoytros different? Because Chatzoytros, what do they come to accomplish? They come to accomplish calling Klal Yisrael. Calling Klal Yisrael, every generation you call them in a different way. Some generations you need AI to call them. You need animation, I don't know what. Different generation, different calling. And it's a Yisoid. That the Chatzoytros for that generation. Next generation, something else. Chatzkel Ramsey said this. Chatzoytros is my timer. What's the Takab Shah? Where do you see it? That you should do for you, and only for you, for your generation, not for a future generation. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu to make a box. Not the aron that we're familiar with for the luchas. This is the Shivrei luchas, a box. It says, make this box. What this box is only for the generation of Moshe Rabbeinu. We know they use it later on in generations. So lecha cannot mean only for this generation. Elo. It could be the stup shatim. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Asay lecha, make this aron, a special box for the shivrei luchas, for the broken piece of luchas, he meant to say to him, make it out of your own money. Open up your wallet, buy the material with your money. Or, there's another mandama that says, like Reb Shimshon Pincus said about Paul Reichman. Paul Reichman gave him a lot of money for his organizations, the Kirva organization at Chutz La'aretz, And then when the Reichmans lost their money in Canary Wharf, right? Whatever, what is it called?
Canary Wharf.
Canary Wharf, in London over there. So he explained, he said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't want all the money, all that come from one source. He wanted to spread like all the time. What? What did Chavetz Chaim say?
Son wanted to give him a building for the Bismedrash, and he said, no, it has to be spread out.
Right. Imagine if the richer, the wealthiest guy in our generation wants to pay for the Beis Hamikdash. We wouldn't agree. Everybody would want to be part of it. Everyone wants to give a little bit. Whatever you can afford, you want to be part of it. So the same thing over here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, I would love to take your money. Your money is better than everybody else's. I don't even want theirs. No, but we need to take it from everybody. But l'cha is not coming to say l'doiros, that the future, it's telling you how you should purchase this iron. How do you get the material? So if so, the word l'cha by chatzotzers, we cannot use it to say you can't use this trumpet the next generation. L'cha means it should come from Moshe Rabbeinu's money, or it should come from everybody's money. Kaviyachol should have been your money, but it's not talking about generations. Shani Azan Makra, l'cha Trey Zimni. There's a famous, I can't get it out of my head. The guy made a whole, I think it's Litzonas almost, on Lech Lecha, Parshas Lech Lecha, he gave a whole Dvar Torah. The Parshas l'cha. And actually, if you look over here on the script on the screen, the Omar Kra Lech Lecha, it's messed up. It's l'cha, not Lech Lecha. Like people are messing up there. In the parasha he calls it l'cha l'cha. Over here he calls it Lech Lecha. It's the same guy, probably. Anyway, the Omar Kra l'cha Trei Zimni. It says l'cha twice, and what do we know that if it says something in Kachim twice, la'akiv. I say l'cha, v'hoyer l'cha. That means only these chatzotzers belong in the generation of Moshe Rabbeinu. Next generation you have to make new ones. Tani Reb Papa B'Reider Rav Chanan Kamei Reb Yosef. Menorah, new sugi, 10 lines down. Chavches on the base. Menorah is a b'mina eshes min hazav. It was one piece, solid piece of gold. Asa shel kesef ksheira. Okay. If you made it out of silver, kosher. Shalbat, if you made it out of tin, v'shel avor, lead, v'shel gistroin, other sorts of metals. Rebbe Poisel, Rebbe Yossi, Rebbe Yehuda Machshir. He says other types of metals are fine, says Rebbe Yossi. Shalait, wood, v'shaletzem sheschuchis, direakol psula. Everybody agrees it's possible. What's a bomb cash on this? We should all have a big question on this line.
Beginning of the second Bismillah, eight were made out of the nerve.
Oh, when? Chashmonaim. Very good. We learned that the Chashmonaim didn't have any money, so they made a menorah out of wood. So the Gemara is going to bring that soon. But over here it says that according to everybody, wood, bone, and glass is possible. Does anybody remember, because I really don't remember, I forgot to look it up. Is there a special mitzvah to light your menorah on Hanukkah with a nice menorah? I remember learning that there was like different dargis in menorah, like out of a silver menorah is better than out of a glass. Yeah? Huh? Nobody knows?
Based on what you said last night.
Caleb Van Vale, yeah.
Okay.
They said that tonight,
No, so fakert. I remember Mamish learning that if the menorah is silver and the cups are glass, it's considered you lit on silver. It's not. It doesn't go by where you light, the part that you light. That dust likmin cup. I don't know. I don't want to just throw something out now and be completely wrong. Maybe I was talking about the Beis Hamikdash. I don't know. That's what I remember. Omalei, my daitoch. Where do you get this from? Why do you say that all these metals are kosher, but wood is possible? And that's basically the nidon here. Now, for me, I have a lot of anor from this. Why? Because when I learned in yeshiva, I remember learning a sugi of klal prativ klal. All I remember is being dizzy. Klal, I didn't know what was flying. That's all I remember. And I think now, you could say that people that are part of MDY for a while, it's like nothing. It reads, like you can read it like a newspaper. That's how easy it is. I think it's Bamis. We had a kid here that gave us, where David Kreinberg's grandson told us the whole klal prat, the nafkamina between klal prat and klal, and riboy miyot riboy, and he said the psukim over. Oh, okay, fine. So we're doing a small sugi here of klal prat and klal. Let me just explain. Very, very simple. When the Torah says you should make a menorah out of everything, so that's a klal. Make it out of everything. It can be glass, wood, gold, silver. Then the Torah says no, prat. What's the prat? What does the Torah say? Only gold. It's very specific. And then the Torah says make a menorah out of anything. In Shas, there's two ways to learn. You could either learn klal, prat, klal, or you can learn riboy, miyot, riboy. You're taking the same exact words, but you're just using a different system. It's klal, prat, klal. Maybe people get confused because you say it in karbanas and you say it so fast. The difference is just a klal, prat. Anyway, it's very, very super simple. When the Torah says klal and then a prat and a klal, over here the prat is gold. So the Torah is saying you can make it out of anything, but it must be similar to the prat. So I said gold, make it similar to gold. What could that be? What's similar to gold? Metals. There's another thing that it could be similar to. What's gold? Super expensive, super important. So make it something important. Platinum, I don't know what, silver maybe. Don't make it out of stainless steel. It has to be like gold. Those are two ways to learn it. Now riboy miyot riboy is the same exact thing, but the outcome is different. Riboy, I include all the menorahs in the world. Miyot is gold. Riboy, all the menorahs in the world. What comes out is I'm going to exclude exactly one material in the entire world, and that material is going to be the polar opposite of what the Torah says that you should use. So the Torah says to use gold, the most dissimilar to gold. What's the most dissimilar to gold in our generation? Plastic. I think. In that generation, it was earthenware. The lowest level kli is earthenware. So when the Torah says you can make a menorah out of everything, and then the Torah goes into specific, but make it out of gold, the Torah is coming to exclude one thing. So that's the whole sugya really. Amalei. Why? So what's the question? Why does Rabbi Yossi say you can't make it out of wood? The answer is because if he learns klal b'ratu klal, and we're learning that the menorah has to be made out of something similar to gold, and gold is a metal, well, wood is not a metal. So anything that's not a metal is possible. Wood is not a metal, boom, go. So why does the other one say that you could learn it out of the same klal b'ratu klal? He says wood is okay. Because we're not learning that it has to be like a metal, we're learning the chashivas. It has to be like gold, that it's super important. It's a very expensive material. It's an important material that kings use. Kings do not use earthenware. So use something important, like gold. So it includes all metals. Omerlei ma'adaitoch. Omerlei, Beimar, the Rabbi Yossi and the Tanakama who argue, Klal Prat Darshe. They're arguing how to learn the Klal Prat. Miu. Marsov and Prat before Shomateches. Here, just show you real quickly. The Torah says Vasisa Menorahs. Doesn't say what, how. So it includes every type of menorah in the world. We have over here glass, earthenware, wood, gold, silver, everything, copper. But then the Torah narrows it down to Zahav Torah. It should be out of gold. Here's the golden one. It comes to exclude all the other metals. But then everything else in the world. But the Torah says Miksha Teyasa. The Torah includes. So we have to take one off. What type off? So what are we going to take off? You see, so it comes in the red box, it excludes things that are not metals. All those glass, wood, things that are not metal. And the other one says, no, you learned it wrong. It has to be similar to gold, yes, but a different way. It has to be something chashuv, like silver. Silver is also chashuv. So you can make it out of silver. I've called it chashuv, but not wood. Wood is... Huh?
Everyone says
Yeah. Everybody says not wood.
Yeah, but how do you learn it?
What do you mean?
No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
How do you get to it? That's what I'm saying.
How do you get to it? Omar lei, samidi doch mikamedi. I don't like yours. You're saying that according to Rabbi Yossi, wood is no good. I say Rabbi Yossi holds wood is good. And that's one of the rayas is, look, the chashmonai made out of wood. They bring a bunch of brises that say wood is good. This here. You made it out of wood. Rabbi Paisel, Rabbi Yosef reviewed the machshir. It says mafurish. Rabbi Yosef holds it's kosher. What are you telling me? Rabbi Yosef says it's possible. But Michael Meflagi, what's a machlagis? Rabbi Darish Klali Prati. Rabbi Yosef reviewed the Darish Ribuyim Mutei. Oh, so this is slightly different. Not that they're arguing how to do the klal prat, but the argument is it klal prat or is it ribuy miyot? Because if you do ribuy miyot, then you only exclude one thing. And what are you going to exclude? Earthenware. So wood would be good. Rabbi Darish klal prat.
Wood would be good, yeah.
Wood would be good. Basi seminary as klal. Zav tar prat. Mixture yosam menorah chazv kala. We had this. Klal uprat uklal yatadonal kain prat. When you have a klal uprat uklal, it says you have to do something similar to the exclusion to the gold. Ma problem furish mateches. It's a metal. I've called mateches. This comes as Rebbe to exclude wood. Wood is possible. As you review the Darish Ribuy Mute, no, but if you Darish and Ribuy Mute, you're only going to exclude one material from the world. Just one material in the entire world. So now we're doing the same thing over again. We're doing the same words. Instead of putting the word klal, we're going to put the word riba. Riba. Zavtar, instead of prat, it's called a miyat. Riba. What is that called? Riba, miyat, umiyat, v'riba. And what? Riba kol. You included everything. My Rabbi, and what are you including? Rabbi called me everything. My miyad, and what are you going to exclude? Just one thing, miyad shalcheres, and therefore what? Wood is kosher for menorah. I don't like your brisa. I like my brisa that says that Rabbi Yosef holds that wood is no good. No, because I have more. Maybe afshal kesef. If you don't have gold, you should bring from silver. Shalachaisis, shalbazis, shalbadil, shalaferes. This is a mafurish. Rabbi Yosef holds that wood is good. You should not make a house that looks like the Beis Hamikdash, like the Heichal. You should not make. In Brazil, there's a giant building that's the size of the Beis Hamikdash. It's called something temple. It's literally the size of the Beis Hamikdash. It has columns and everything inside. The whole thing, theater seats. I think it's a church or something. It's also. You shouldn't make a yard the size of that zara. So there's a big problem that I have. Now check this out. In Borough Park, you have Bedford Stuyvesant in the background. The projects. This is Shtikal Aser. It even has a paroichas in the background. Shtikal Menorah. Okay. So here's the question. Are you allowed to make a mizbeach that's half the size of the regular mizbeach? Are you allowed to make a menorah that's half the size of a regular menorah? Are you allowed to make the kalim like Weisberg worked months on making the kalim? Are you allowed to do that? You're not allowed to make a shulchan connected shulchan. He made a shulchan over there, a smaller one. Menorah connected menorah. You're not allowed to make a menorah. Avaloisu shel chamisha v'shel shizu v'shel shmoina. You're allowed to make that the sorfim, you cannot buy a candelabra that has 7 branches from them. They won't make it. They only make 8, 6, 10, 9, not 7. You cannot make a menorah that has 7 branches, even from other metals. Rabbi Yosef says you're not allowed to make it out of wood. Why? Because in the Beis Hamikdash wood was kosher, so you're not allowed to make it out of wood. Oh, so this is mafurish that Rabbi Yosef holds that wood is kosher for a menorah. So there are those who say, by the way, that you're not allowed to make any kalim, any size. So the menorah you're not allowed to make any size because there's no size to the menorah. It doesn't say in the Torah how large it must be. So if you make a small menorah also, but other, huh?
It says how much that's the way.
So you make it
That's
the
how
way.
you know, based on that.
No, you can make it thinner, larger, size-wise, not. They argue. The Chashmonayim, no, they used metal, and then they covered it with tin. Later on, they made it out of silver. Later on, here we even have a video. I'm not so happy what he did with the gold. I don't think that would be okay, but we'll see.
Happy Hanukkah!
What do we do now? We need to light the menorah.
It was taken, and we don't have any gold to make a new menorah.
The Gemara teaches that when it is not possible to make a menorah out of gold, it can also be made from other materials such as silver, copper, iron, and even tin.
This is a brilliant idea!
Now they're covering with tin. They took metal, cover with tin.
The money has arrived!
Pouring silver. But this I'm not sure you can do. It's not mikshach. It's zero mikshachas, I guess. They're pouring it.
It's a miracle! A true miracle!
Now that's way larger than what they had in the Mikdash in terms of it's only 18 tefachim. Omer Shmuel, do we have time? Wow, we're running out of time. Omer Shmuel, Mishmei the Saba. Gavash Menorah Shmoina Osir Tefachim. Do we have anybody here that's 4'8"? Don't want to admit to it? Maybe we have a kid. How tall are you? How tall are you? You're 4'8". Get over here. Come for a second. I should have brought a tape measure. Come. What's your name? Daniel. Shalom Aleichem. You're 4'8", right? Let me see. I'm 6'2". Right about. The menorah is like this tall, Rabbi. So that's how tall the menorah was. Not 4'8". Okay, shkoyach. Thank you. 18 tefachim. Go measure yourself. Tell me later. Haraglayim ba'perach shleisha tefachim. Rabbi said, look how beautiful he did in one night. The same night during Shir. Unbelievable. Take a look at this. The base is 3 tefachim. On top of that, we got 2 tefachim. On top of that, we have perach. It's 1 tefach. On top of that, it's blank. On top of that, we have what is that called? A kaftar. Then it's salad. On top of that, kaftar. Top of that, salad. Top of that, kaftar. 2 tefachim. And all these givim and the prachim and everything equals 3. Now, there's a little bit of mistake that I have to tell him to fix, but I don't know if he's up yet. He was up very late. The 18 tefachim do not include the glasses or whatever you light the stuff on top. It's until, see, you went a little bit too high on that. It should be lower. Okay, but that's the point. Beautiful job. Look what he did, all in a couple of hours. Mom is beautiful. Okay, so we'll see inside. The bottom part, if I go back, yeah, we can leave it like this. Okay, you see, you can follow with me. The bottom part is 3 tefachim, v'tefachim cholak, then 2. V'tefach sheboya gviya v'kaftar v'perach. Then there's 1 tefach that has all 3, the gviya v'kaftar v'perach. V'tefachim cholak, then solid 2. V'tefach kaftar, then you have 1 tefach. Each button was a tefach. Ushnei konim yitzim menu echad eilach v'echad eilach. The 2 branches come out of both sides. And they go to the height of the menorah. V'tefach cholak, 1 solid piece. V'tefach kaftar, and another button or ball. That's 9. V'tevach cholak, solid piece. V'tevach kaftor. V'chaim cholak, and then 2 tefachim solid. That's where you have the 3 bechers, gvim, l'mayim doimim. What are they similar to? Kimin koises Alexandrium, which are narrow on the bottom, wider on the top. Something similar to this. Kaftarim l'mayim doimim, and what are the buttons? The kimin tapuchi akreisim, round. Some say it's a little off round, but round. Prachim l'mayim doimim, what are the flowers? Kimin pirchi amudim, like the flowers on the beams. V'nimtzu, and so we have Yivim Etzim Shnaim. It's 22 bechers. We'll go into tomorrow, I guess. Kaftarim, echadasar prachim. Oh, we only started 52 minutes ago. Yeah. Okay, so then we could go. We could finish up. Let's finish up. We're a little late for Shachars, but not late for this year. So, Gvim, there's 22 cups. Kaftorim achadasar, there's 11 round circles, buttons. Prochim tisha, and 9 flowers. Gvim makvim zezeh. If you're missing one of the 22 bechers, no good. Kaftorim makvim zezeh. Same thing with the buttons. Prochim makvim zezeh. Same thing with the flowers. Gvim kaftorim prochim makvim zezeh. If you have You're missing all. You have everything besides the kaftarim, everything besides the brachim. Ma'akid. Bishlam givim esrim shnayim. Now the Gemara just goes in. How do we know this 22? Dichsev uba benoira arba. Uba benoira arba givim. The menorah had 4 cups on the front, on the solid, on the center piece. So let's do the math. If each one on top had 3 bechers times 6 is 3 times 6, 18. Plus the 4 on the center one is 22. 18 plus 4. We get to 11 buttons. Kaftorim tredido b'shisha dekanim. You have 6 kaftorim on the kanim. Let's see where they are. We have here on the top. So we have a kaftor, perach, and a gevia all on top. So that's 6. Plus tredido and 2 on the actual the center, the stem. Plus v'kaftor as they come out here. These 3 right over here. You have 3 over here. You have 1 down here. You have 1 over here. That's a total of 5 plus 6. Hachatzan. Yeah, you with me? Yeah. Ela brachim disha manol. Where do we get 9 flowers? Brachim tredi da. So we have 2 on the stem. V'shisha dekanim man yohavi. So we have 6 plus 2 is 8. Where did you get to 9? In other words, we're missing this one on the bottom. Right over here, that one right there. Where do you get that from? Omer of Shalom Ksiv ad Yerecha ad Pircha Mikshehi. There's another passage that tells you there's a Perach Pircha that tells us there's a 9th one. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.